Alright, here's what we got going here. I'm working on some turn signals for my car. All LED based and RGB LEDs, so you can any color I want. Programmed with Arduino. Probably using some sort of a Mega eventually. Right now I'm just using a little mini type board that I have built myself in the past. And it's just one of the patterns here. Right and left turn signal there. And obviously I call this one Cylon for the obvious reasons. And using the fast SPI library to drive them. They're the Adafruit pixels. They come 20 in a chain, and there's 35 LEDs in each light. And if you're in a kind of car, it's a 2008 Mustang. I take it to car shows and whatnot. And all I ended up doing was buying a set of clear lenses for it off of eBay for about 30 bucks. And ripped the front of the lens off. Here's the old backer. And just took the clear part off and actually glued the LED pixels right onto the front of the lens there. And I'll show you some of the different patterns I got programmed at the moment. Here's kind of like the one-way kind of version of that. I call it the Comet. And see, I should have a rainbow on here somewhere. Yeah, there's the rainbow mode. And I got a few other things programmed too, but I don't have it all uploaded up on the microcontroller at the moment. But just show you some of something I'm working on here, and eventually the plan is to have a Mega run both the turn signals, and so the car will supply a signal for turn signal and for the marker lights, and the marker lights will be white, turn signal will be yellow, and of course the turn signal will pulse down the strip, and then there'll be the car show mode, which will be all these different type of things you see here. And I plan on having another Mega hooked up to actually a touch screen, and program some menus on there to be able to control what pattern I'm showing, how fast it's moving, and the colors that I want it to show. Yeah, most of them will be a single color at a time. Just this one here happens to be a multicolor kind of effect. And so it's going to be a lot of head work to get that all done, but it's coming along. I just got the touch screen in and hooked it up, and it's working. I haven't programmed anything for it yet. And communication between the two hopefully will be via RGB, wireless. So I may end up with, I'm not sure if I'm going to end up with one Mega running both turn signals, or one smaller, like the mini that you kind of saw there, one for each signal or not. It's nice to have them run off of one. I keep them in sync like this. Running off each one, you come in with problems with the resonator being a little bit different and whatnot, and then you got to send signals back and forth. So I guess I could do that too through XB. I'd have to have like a little three-way network going there. Just a little secondary information here. You may be wondering why it's only a real thin strip in the middle of the lens. The actual lens in the Mustang, that's the only part of the lens that's visible, is that real thin strip. The rest of it is not visible, so I have a lot of place to mount any hardware if I need to or anything. I mount it, and have it hidden, have back behind the lens where nobody can ever see it. And I also did a pair for my dad for his old car, and I'll post a video for them. They're not RGB, they're just white because the lens is red, and they're actually using 8x8, two 8x8 arrays for each light, with a Maxim 7219 driving each of the 8x8s on each light. And so of course they have all individual control of all the LEDs, and they had to be synced up. I used I2C signal across between the two to keep the two in sync for the patterns and whatnot when it's in the car show mode, as I'll call it. One other thing, if anybody's trying to use these pixel LEDs that Adafruit sells, they have their own library, and it does work, and it's pretty nice. It's a little slow to update, And when I've been trying to run 35 in a row, it gets pretty glitchy. The last 6, 7 just kind of wig out and kind of do whatever they want in the chain, and I've upped the CPU percentage all the way up to 100%, and it doesn't really seem to fix the problem. And so I've been using the fast SPI library, and that's been much more effective. As you can see, I haven't had any problem with glitch. I can run the CPU percentage on all the way down to 40%. It runs perfectly fine. So if you're having some problems and you bought these from Adafruit and you're using the Adafruit library, check out the fast SPI _ LED library for the Arduino environment, and it seems to be a lot more efficient. The only downside to that is, of course, that since you're running an SPI, it's hardware SPI, you only have the 2 pins that you can use. The Adafruit, you can pick any 2 pins to run the strips. On the fast SPI, you have to use the SPI pins, which are digital out 11 and 13, and you don't have much choice. What is nice, though, is the Adafruit one, you can set it to 11 and 13, so you can go back and forth between the two without having to resolder or change anything, and test which one works best for you. And that's about it.